Don't ask me about no beef. I don't with nobody. I hate everyone. I stay in my own lane. I don't fool with people. And that's not because I want to be like that. It's because the industry made me like that. Everybody else is moving like that. All these niggas fake. Everybody fake. Everybody just want the next song. All they care about is what the next man look like, laughing and speaking on the next man. It's some corny shit going on. I remember when it's just us with each other and vibing, making music. You know what I'm saying? Setting the bar high. You know what I'm saying? Showing people that we more talented than everybody as a black community, as a hip hop community. And I feel like that's fell off because everybody tried to take sides and then everybody want to be certain brands and not this brand. And don't make a song with this and make a song with this. Or, oh, this not looking too good. Let's all kick him while he on the ground type. Like, it's a fake game. And I just don't, I honestly, I just like to stay back. I don't play that game. I stay in my own world. I'm in Trippie land. I'm in Trippie land. Anybody that for Trippie, I with them though. So like, in the same sentence as I say, I do, because I put whoever for me. And that's just how I keep it, you know? I don't do the dick riding. I don't do the extra shift shafting to go put in it.
Better get right or get left, son.
When the leaked jail call of Young Thug surfaced, it sent ripples throughout the rap industry. Fans pored over every word, searching for insight into his thoughts, his relationships, and his perspective from behind bars. But while much of the conversation around Thug has been shaped by speculation, one of the more surprising responses came from Trippie Redd. Rather than fanning the flames of gossip or aligning himself with any particular side, Trippie used the moment to articulate a philosophy that stood in stark contrast to the chaos surrounding him. His reaction wasn't about tearing others down or laughing at their misfortunes. Instead, it was a reflection on what he perceives as the decay of authenticity in hip-hop culture and the corrosive effect of industry politics on artists and their relationships. Trippie's stance was clear. He doesn't involve himself in beef. For him, distancing himself from the endless cycles of rivalry, drama, and performative hostility isn't a weakness, but a deliberate choice. He described how the industry has created an environment where artists are expected to pick sides, to participate in ongoing conflicts, and to leverage controversy for attention. This expectation has, in his view, drained the spirit out of the music, replacing genuine artistry and collaboration with transactional interactions and opportunistic posturing. There's a note of disillusionment in his words. Trippie reflects on an earlier time in hip-hop when artists thrived off of working together and competing creatively, not personally. He misses an era when the primary goal was to raise the bar musically, proving one's talent through skill, experimentation, and vision rather than through antagonism. For him, the hip-hop community, and especially the black community that birthed it, has lost something vital by allowing petty disputes and brand politics to dictate the culture. Instead of celebrating unity and shared excellence, the industry has splintered into camps, each more concerned with optics and rivalries than with pushing the art form forward. The backdrop of this perspective is important. Young Thug, one of the most influential figures of the last decade, now finds himself caught in a web of legal battles and public speculation. His words from jail have been analyzed endlessly, but Trippie's refusal to weaponize those words speaks volumes. In a climate where artists often capitalize on controversy to promote their own relevance, Trippie rejects that instinct. He doesn't want to ride the wave of someone else's downfall. He doesn't want to define himself by association with a side in a conflict. Instead, he emphasizes staying in his own lane, building his own world, and creating his own rules, a philosophy that he brands as Trippie Land. This concept of Trippie Land is not just branding, but an ethos. It's a declaration of independence from the industry's toxic cycles. By asserting that he only aligns with those who truly support him, Trippie is constructing boundaries that protect his creative focus. He is essentially saying that loyalty matters more than opportunism, and authenticity matters more than clout. In a culture dominated by constant comparisons, leaks, call-outs, and online debates, this philosophy allows him to retain control over his identity. There's also an undercurrent of critique toward fans and media. Trippie points out how people online thrive off speaking about the next man, laughing at their struggles, and turning every misstep into entertainment. For him, this obsession with conflict diminishes the art itself. music becomes secondary to gossip, and artistry gets lost in the noise of who is up and who is finished. It's a cycle that not only hurts artists, but also degrades the culture they represent. To understand the weight of this reaction, it's necessary to look at Trippie's place in rap. Since breaking into the mainstream, he's cultivated a reputation for straddling genres, mixing melodic rap with punk, rock, and emo influences. He's built his brand on individuality, often positioning himself as someone who doesn't conform to expectations. His comments here are an extension of that outlook. Just as he refuses to conform musically, he refuses to conform socially, declining to play the industry's games of rivalry and allegiance. Yet, while his words reflect independence, they also highlight a certain sadness. The fact that he longs for a time when artists vibed together and elevated one another suggests that he sees the current era as corrupted. For him, the industry doesn't just pit artists against each other for commercial gain. It forces them into cycles of fakery, where every move is scrutinized for clout and every relationship is measured in terms of branding rather than genuine connection. This perspective also places him in an interesting position regarding Young Thug. Thug, after all, is someone who, despite his controversies, has long been celebrated for uniting artists and shaping Atlanta into a hub of creativity. His mentorship and collaborations have uplifted countless rappers. By refusing to participate in the discourse around Thug's call, Trippie indirectly honors that legacy. He doesn't want to see Thug reduced to gossip fodder. Instead, he implies that the industry should remember what Thug contributed musically, rather than using his legal troubles as another spectacle for content. Trippie's comments also raise questions about the future of hip-hop. If the culture continues to prioritize gossip, spectacle, and division, what happens to the art itself? Will rap become less about pushing creative boundaries and more about generating controversy for clicks? Or will artists like Trippie, who actively resist those cycles, inspire a shift back toward music-driven artistry? There's no simple answer, but his stance underscores the stakes. Hip-hop has always contained elements of rivalry, from the battles of the 1980s to the East Coast-West Coast wars of the 1990s, but those rivalries were often accompanied by groundbreaking music. What Trippie suggests is that the balance has tipped too far, that the conflicts now overshadow the creativity, leaving behind a culture where artists are remembered more for their beefs than for their contributions. For Trippie himself, this philosophy of staying in Trippie land may be the key to longevity. By insulating himself from unnecessary drama, he ensures that his focus remains on the work, not the spectacle. And in doing so, he carves out a space for himself that isn't dependent on aligning with movements, camps, or temporary narratives. In a world where so many artists are defined by who they're for or against, Trippie insists on being defined by what he creates. The leaked call from Young Thug will continue to fuel debate, but Trippie Red's reaction provides an alternative way to interpret it. Instead of jumping into the chaos, he used it as an opportunity to reflect on the larger state of the industry, an industry he views as too consumed with fakery, sides, and spectacle. His message was simple but powerful. Stay true, stay in your own lane, and let the music speak louder than the drama.